Colombia is one of my favorite countries to visit. I've been there twice, and these are the things that actually shocked me. Let's get right into it. Number one, what shocked me was when I realized the real definition of poverty. So when I went to a place called San Andres Island, which is actually like a holiday destination, and it's got clear blue waters, white sandy beaches, and you know, as tourists we stay in like Airbnbs or like little hostels, hotels. But I got quite friendly with one of the locals there, and he took me to his house one day, and honestly I respect him, but I was pretty shocked at the living conditions. So there was like, the roof was not even like properly attached to the house. It was basically a thin sheet of metal, and there was like a gap in between the wall and the roof. The floor was actually just dirt, like it was a dirt floor. There was no actual official floor. There was no door on the bathroom. There was like the kitchen, he didn't have an actual cooking facility. He had to go next door to his mum's house to use the cooking. And it just really put things into perspective for me, because in New Zealand, I would be considered, you know, I would be considered pretty poor for what I am. I basically receive like a government benefit. And so, you know, compared to like the population of New Zealand, I would be considered poor, being that I receive a benefit. But I have a house, like I have a beautiful house compared to the living conditions that they have over there. So it's just like, wow, like if I was in Colombia, my house would be considered like well off, you know? So it's just crazy, like when you compare the different standards of living. That was pretty shocking to me. I was like, wow, like I'm actually like, if I went there, I would be considered pretty rich. The second thing that actually shocked me was how scary ayahuasca is. Okay, so ayahuasca is a South American traditional medicine that it's kind of made out of like ground up vines that they find in the jungle. They brew it down into this little brown liquid, and it's a popular psychedelic and hallucinogenic that can really heal deep traumas. But what they don't tell you, or what shocked me about it, was that if you do like a 2-day or a multiple day thing, it can actually be really scary. So the first day that I did the ayahuasca, I started getting really scary visions of like these evil clown faces, and I would see, like I felt as though I was looking inside my brain, and I could see my brain like opening up and all these like cogs and wheels turning and stuff. And it was actually really scary. It wasn't just like a peaceful trip. Like the second day, when I came back on the second day, I didn't even want to come back on the second day, because I was like, man, if that's what the first day's like, then what's the second day gonna be like? But I did. I came back on the second day, and it was so much better, because it was like I saw way more beauty in the universe. But yeah, it shocked me how scary ayahuasca can be, because they don't actually tell you that part, so be ready for that. The third thing that I found shocking was how happy people can be with literally nothing. Like this friend of mine and his family, like they don't earn that much money. They literally get like, you know, $20 US dollars a day, which is like, you know, not that much to live off. And they were really happy. Like they were really genuinely happy people. He wasn't like depressed, and he was like happy with his life. And I was just like, wow, like that was something else that really shocked me. I was like, you don't actually have to have much. Even though he lived in like a very different kind of accommodation to what I'm used to in New Zealand, he was still genuinely really happy as a person. He was like loving his life. So yeah, it shocked me that people can be really happy with nothing. Okay, the third thing that shocked me is that scammers are a thing. I guess I was a little bit naive, but this friend of mine who was living in Colombia, I realized after a couple of weeks of being with him that he actually expected me to pay for absolutely everything. He basically saw me as a rich foreigner, which I was, you know, I didn't think that would happen to like friends. Like if you've got friends in the country, I was like, okay, so like I'd known him for like about a year by the time that I went back at that point. And it was shocking, because I was like, wow. So once I said, no, I don't want to pay for that, like then he started to get really quite mean. and just basically cut me off. And so that's when I was like, wow, okay, so this guy basically just saw me as a rich foreigner, wasn't actually a genuine friend, but just wanted my money, basically. And that shocked me, because I was like, wow, like even if you're friends, then they still just see you as they still just see you like that. So it shocked me that scammers actually are a thing, sadly. The fifth thing that shocked me was that they get around on motorbike. This is actually so cool, because I love riding motorbikes. They do give you a helmet, which is great, but like, it's so cool. So cool and shocking. Like here, everybody gets around by car. There, it's like, yes, they do have cars, but actually bikes are cheaper. So if you can, like, you would normally literally just stand on the side of the road and wave a bike down and wait till you see one pass and just wave it down, and you would just give them like, 10 pesos, 20 pesos. And it was great. It was just like, wow, this is so cool, just zooming around town, zooming around on a motorbike. So yeah, I guess it is smaller than a car, so it must be cheaper to run. So therefore, that's how they get around. Okay, second to last thing is that they have this little island there called Providencia, which if you go all the way to Colombia and then you go to the island, which is San Andres, there is an even smaller island that you can get to called Providencia. And that one is like one that you kind of find in those like Lonely Planet books, and it kind of, talks about it as this kind of hidden paradise. But to be honest, what shocked me was that I thought it was a bit overrated. Like, it was kind of the same as San Andres. I wouldn't call it that much better. Like, I mean, San Andres was beautiful. It had all the nice beaches, all the nice snorkeling, all the sand, all the food, like the people and the culture and everything. Providencia was like the same, but just more quiet. So it was like, still had, the beaches, still had the food, but it was just like nobody there. So it was kind of the same, but just like a lot more isolated, and like, wow, you kind of get there and it's like this remote island where there's like no one there. So yeah, they kind of describe it a bit differently. I was like, wow, this is not what I expected. Like, I was expecting to see even more like crystal clear water and like, yeah, but it just shocked me how I was like, wow, there's like nobody here, and also it's kind of just the same as San Andres. So if I was you, I would not actually, I wouldn't say waste, because it's like never a waste to travel, but if I was you, I would not pay extra to go to Providencia. I would probably just stick on San Andres, because you'll have just as good of a time on San Andres, although there are some spots to watch out for, but yeah, stick to San Andres. Okay, and the last thing that really shocked me is that foreigners pay more for everything. Like, this I find kind of just insulting, and to be honest makes me not really want to go to kind of countries like that, because I feel it's like a foreign tax. Like, it's not just like you pay the same. Like, if you wanted to go to like take a boat somewhere, for example, like they just look at you and they're like, oh, tourist, oh, she's white, okay, let's charge her double. Like, that's kind of racist, if I'm totally honest. That's pretty racist. And it's kind of insulting, because you're just kind of assuming that I have lots of money, which, okay, to be fair, in Colombian standards, I do have more money if I'm going there, but it's insulting when we know that you're charging locals less. It is insulting. Okay, so yeah, I don't like that we have to pay more for everything, and also, you have to pay, as a foreigner, you have to pay for things that locals wouldn't normally pay for. So, for example, I went to a church. You would never pay to go inside a church in New Zealand, but in San Andres, you want to go up the top of the church and have a look and climb up the stairs. Nope, they're going to charge you for that. There's the same thing that they had a little lagoon there. They call it the Laguna, and you can go there. There's nothing. It's just kind of like a big giant pond. I mean, there's not like, maybe there's alligators in there, but again, it's like, if it's in New Zealand, like there's a stunning big cave not far from my house where I live in New Zealand. They don't charge you to go in the cave. Are you kidding? Like, it's natural. Like, it's a natural environment. In San Andres, you want to go to the lagoon, they will literally charge you to go to the lagoon, like just to go look at the lagoon. Not even to swim in it, not even to get a boat on it, just to like look at it, they'll charge you. So that shocked me. I'm like, oh my gosh, like Talk about milking the tourists. Like, no, I don't want to go to places like that. The locals need to realize that if they're going to charge foreigners for things they wouldn't charge locals for, or they're going to charge foreigners more than what they'll charge local for, they will end up hurting their tourism. So if you're in Colombia, take note of that and pass that message on, okay? Because that shocked me and it made me honestly not really want to go back. So look, those are the things that shocked me, the top 7 things that shocked me about Colombia. If you enjoyed this video and you want to have a look at some more, feel free to check my other ones out, and I wish you well on your travels. Bye!